Alright, for my project, I interviewed Janet Lee, who is the executive pastry chef at Flower Cake and Pastry, which is a wedding cake bakery that mainly does wedding cakes for different hotels in the downtown Chicago area. Janet partnered with her friend Nicole Chibnick to open Flower. She started out in the industry by going to Kendall, and she used to work at the Ritz-Carlton, where she started out making mostly plated desserts, and she always thought that she would never get into the wedding cake business. But one time at the hotel she was working at, they got a wedding cake delivery, and she just thought it was beautiful, and she thought, wow, that's what I want to do. So she opened up her own business. Right now, she has a couple employees that work for her. She has an intern, and she also has many stages that come in and out. When she needs to find employees to work for her, she usually asks the local culinary schools around if anyone is looking for a job or an internship or anything. And before she ever hires anyone, she has them come in for stages, because she wants to make sure that they're a good fit for her and her bakery, and she wants to see what their skill level is, if they're fast at learning and other things like that. And she also wants to make sure that the applicant likes her bakery and if it's a good fit for them. She says that nowadays it's getting harder and harder to find new employees. She says that she will get tons and tons of emails and calls about internships and stages and other things like that, and she'll set up times for these people to come in, and so she can see if they're a good fit, and they end up not showing up. She says that it's really hard to find people who keep their word and actually show up. So obviously she can't hire those people if they're not even going to show up for a stage. To train her employees, she usually does it on her own. She'll have them come in for work, and she'll go step by step with them about what they do, the production for each day, and she will work with them so they know exactly what she is expecting from them. And then when she feels that they have learned exactly how to do a task or anything like that, she will then leave them by themselves to do their thing. But she doesn't like to just be here, do this, and expect them to just pick up it by themselves. She wants them to know exactly what she's expecting from them. She says that being a manager can be very rewarding, but it's very stressful. She really enjoys the fact that it's her business and it's her bakery, and she can control the outcome of the product. She can decide what she wants to do, and no one else is in charge of her. She's her own boss, and that's great and everything. But with being a manager, she has so many responsibilities. Things can just be very stressful. She works in the bakery every day with her employees, with making the cakes and delivering them and everything. But yet, at the end of the day, when she goes home, she also has to go do paperwork, work with invoices, and all that stuff. And she admits to saying that she constantly thinks about work. While she's at the bakery, she is thinking about what she has to get done that day and everything like that. And then when she gets home, she's trying to plan out what she's going to do the next day, and what even she has to do that entire week. And it's just there's so many things to do, and it just can be very stressful. And she says to keep her mind off everything with work and all this stress. She really enjoys spending time with her kids and her family. She likes to go on bike rides with her kids, and take them to the zoo, the museum, anything like that. She says that sometimes she just needs time to get away from work and recharge herself so that she doesn't become completely overwhelmed with what she's doing. She has grown definitely as a person and as a manager since she first started in this industry. At first, she was a little shy, a little timid, but once she started her own business, she had to quickly learn the part of being a manager. She had to step up and take charge and make important decisions and everything like that. Her managing style, she definitely prefers to be more respectful to her employees but yet stern at the same time. She's not gonna go and yell at somebody for doing something wrong. She believes that if you show respect to someone, that they will show you respect back. And she thinks that just yelling and putting people down, it doesn't do any good. It doesn't help the employee or the intern learn any faster or better. And she doesn't feel good about herself yelling at someone for something that they've done wrong. She had an old manager at one of the hotels that she used to work at who would constantly yell at people, and he would always be in a bad mood, and she just hated how that was, and she always swore that if she ever opened up her own bakery or own business, that the environment in that establishment would not be like that. From interviewing Janet, I definitely have learned that having your own managing style is very important, and you should do what you feel comfortable with. If you don't feel comfortable with yelling at people, then you shouldn't yell at people. You should just do what you feel is right and you feel is the best way to manage others. And one of the most important things that I've learned is that being a manager is very, very hard work. And there's so many responsibilities. You do work all day, 9 to 5, whatever, but then when you go home, you still are thinking about work, you're still doing paperwork and everything, and it's just such hard work. And I never realized it, and people always seem to be wanting to work their way up to being a manager, and I just am now realizing that there's so much hard work involved in that.